You are at your most powerful right now on today's Oberon Divination. Greetings everyone, I'm Oberon, Lord of the Underworld and consort to the most lovely Hecate. Thank you for joining me on today's Elemental Synastry reading. It is a divination technique which was bestowed upon me by the goddess upon her sacred marriage, and it involves the tarot, the 5 elements, and astrology. Now, this is a timeless collective reading, so take what resonates and discard what doesn't. And if you do happen to resonate with this reading, then feel free to let us all know by leaving a like, subscribe, or a comment. Okay, so I draw a tarot card to see which is influencing each of the elements. And the first element that we have is the element of spirit, which is represented by the bell. And now we have justice coming out. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of positivity coming into our lives. Spirit is the element which is about to manifest. It is pretty much the alignment of our willpower. And with that justice card influencing it, it means that we feel like we are finally going to get what we feel is owed to us, or what we feel is in alignment with us. It's very interesting how these readings have been turning out lately, because, it was like, and I think I've said this in last week's reading, it always seemed like for a while, these readings were about releasing a burden, or, letting go of the past and all of that, all happening within the element of spirit. And now we're starting to get some very, very positive information coming in from spirit. Like, we are finally going to be able to get what we feel is coming to us. There's been a lot of release of burdens. There's been a lot of unclogging of stuck energies. And when we have the ability to do that, then yeah, it makes it so that a lot of other energies and a lot of other beneficial things can come into our lives. And so yeah, that justice card is really a positive reading. The justice can also mean Libra as well. So it could feel like perhaps even a new relationship or a new marriage of some type, which is coming in. Not everyone will probably resonate with that, but some of you might. So yeah, definitely a lot going for us in this year of the fire horse. Okay, so let's see what the astrology die have to say to that. We have Mercury in Cancer in the 11th house. Okay, let's see. So I roll once for the house, and I roll a second time for the decade. 2. All right, so this is definitely starting to suggest. So there's a couple of ways we could look at it as a love reading, especially with that justice representing Libra. We can feel that on one aspect, and also with this first decan of Cancer there, that is also the Lord of Love. That's the 2 of Cups energy. So on one hand, yes, it could be interpreted as a love reading with both those elements combined. We have a new love coming in. We have a new relationship, a new commitment coming in. And then also on the other hand, it could represent even, let's say, a work situation where justice can also mean the people that we view on an equal footing. And many of the times those types of people are, let's say, our co-workers. So it could, if we interpret it as a career or as a job, as resonating with that, then that 2 of Cups energy can also mean a new passion or a new sort of endeavor which we dive into wholeheartedly, is about to manifest as well. So it's a very wonderful new beginning, not only for our possible relationships, but also possible work-related instances as well. And we have that Aquarian energy, that 11th house energy, which has to relate to the community. It can also relate to online endeavors as well, and also perhaps deal with technology. And so this could be, let's say, a new career opportunity, which we we may see online. We may send out our resumes to these companies, and we start to get hired for the job, or find a job which is better suited to us. This could also mean perhaps meeting someone online as well. Some type of maybe dating app, or maybe social media type of presence, situation growing through that. So yeah, lots of possibilities. I believe last week's reading was pretty similar to this as well. Oh, here. I don't know how the cup got in there, but it's supposed to be the bell, not the cup. Anyways, okay, so let's move on to the next element. It is the element of fire, which is represented by the wand. Fire can represent our drives, ambitions, our desires as well. And one of the reasons why it's represented by the wand is because of its very focused and directed energy. All right. So what is influencing fire, love? Okay, we have the Seven of Cups. Wow, I haven't seen the Seven of Cups in a while. Okay, so we have the Seven of Cups influencing our drives and ambitions, perhaps our desires. The Seven of Cups generally means some type of daydream or fantasy. It could also mean having perhaps a lot of options available as well. So I would say with the... Yeah, it's probably a little bit of both on this. I would say that in terms of relationships and as far as career goes, we could be feeling that we are starting to have more options. We could be feeling that there's a lot of variety coming in. There seems to be a lot of posts which could, resonate with us career-wise. There could be more contacts being made online in terms of a relationship as well. And to me, it doesn't necessarily feel like a daydream. It feels more kind of like options, which could also turn into maybe a type of fantasy as well. But either way, the variety is there, regardless of whatever we may choose to manifest it as. So there's a lot of options available to us in our drives, ambitions, and desires. And it's really about honing in on exactly what we want to be able to truly seek out that which we desire. All right, let's see what the astrology die have to say to this. We got Neptune in Pisces in the 12th house. Wow. Okay, so wow. All right. 1 second, let me line this up. All right, let's re-roll for the decan. Third decan of Pisces. Okay. Okay, so this is some very deep energy coming in. So Neptune is in Pisces, and it's also in the 12th house. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and the 12th house is also ruled by Pisces, and Neptune is also the dignity throughout all of that. That is Neptune's house. So, and that third decan of Pisces, that's the 10 of Cups energy. That is ultimate bliss and joy. That is, this is very much, this could be a love reading, or it's definitely starting to slant that way because of that 10 of Cups energy mixed in with that Libra energy in spirit, meeting your forever person, meeting your happily ever after person, is giving off a lot of strong vibes with that. And but it's also simultaneously giving off the very strong vibes of perhaps landing into that ideal career situation, which helps to really give a sense of fulfillment and also a sense of joy. So again, similar to last week's reading, we have a committed relationship paired with a sense of profound satisfaction in our career and workplace. And you can resonate with either one or both of those scenarios. And yeah, if you're looking for both will be there. If you're looking for one will be there. But either way, lots of strong possibilities and lots of things coming to us. Lots of things which will give us great joy are definitely rushing forward to be able to satisfy us and to be able to help us grow into the highest and best versions of ourselves. Okay, let's move on to the next element. We have the element of air, which is represented by the sword. And some of you may notice I actually got a new sword for today. One which is a little bit more appropriate to our readings. Okay, so what is happening in the element of air? Now, air can represent our intellectual and communicative resources and endeavors. All right, so what do we have? Wow, we have the star. Very interesting. Okay, this is a very powerful reading. I thought last week's reading was a powerful reading, but this is kind of taking that and upping everything to another level. So what we have here with the star, especially influenced by the element of air, is we are at a very powerful level of being able to communicate, a very powerful level of having clear thought. It's almost otherworldly right now. It's almost like we're receiving these downloads coming in from who knows where. It could be guides, it could be, the guardian angels, it could be the alien faction within our lives, and also coming from the Most High as well. And so we have all this energy. The star is also a very healing energy too. So I believe in last week's reading there was still a little bit of healing to be done within the element of air. However, this seems to have been overcome with this week's reading, especially with the star. So we're at a very sort of magical time right now. We're at a very prosperous time of being able to tap into those healing energies, being able to tap into harnessing our abilities and harnessing our energies to be able to really not only live the highest and best for ourselves, but also to really influence the world around us in a very beneficial way. The star is also the star also represents Aquarius, and we already have this justice in Aquarius right there too. So a lot of Aquarian energy is coming through in this reading too. Very, very powerful. Let's see what the astrology die have to say to that. Okay. Mercury again in Scorpio in the 6th house. Okay, so let's re-roll for the decan. All right, we are in the middle decan of Scorpio. Okay. So, that middle decan of Scorpio, that's a Lord of Pleasure. That is, that could also relate to a lot of nostalgia. It could relate to past relationships. It could also relate to childhood. But whatever is happening, what it's suggesting is that, we also have Mercury there too. yeah, it's also, Mercury is very welcome in Virgo as well. Wow. Okay. Very, very powerful. All right, so essentially what we have is we have done the work. We have done the work, we have healed from the past to be able to adequately communicate what we have to communicate. We have done the work to be able to heal ourselves on a deep level of understanding as well. And yeah, with it being in that house of Virgo, that sixth house energy, we've had to definitely go into our solitude. We've had to definitely look within to really begin to discover these, I wouldn't necessarily call them character flaws or any of that kind of stuff, because it's all part of the process, but we've had to really do a lot of soul searching, so much to the point to where we did go into that period of isolation, to where we did go into that hermit mode. And with that, we've come out on top, because now we are the star. Now we have this wonderful power, this magical power of manifestation, which is influencing our element of air right now. So this is pretty much a time to communicate anything, learn anything. All the stops have been pulled out, and we are definitely in alignment with our element of air and with what we need to do with that. It's now time to come out of hermit mode. It's now time to be the star. Remember, the house of Aquarius, which also is what the star represents, is about the community at large. And it's about really reaching out there and making yourself visible also on a public level too. So yeah, definitely time to come out of that hermit mode. Definitely time to step into the spotlight, become the leader that is within all of us, to become that person who takes the reins, takes charge of their own life. Excellent. All right. Let's move along to the next element, the element of Earth, which is represented by the Pentacle. Now, Earth can represent our spiritual and material gains and acquisitions. Earth represents the ground we stand on, and that with which we can manifest in the physical world. Okay. So we've got the Six of Swords. So that energy is popping out to me really, really strongly, that good times are ahead in terms of our finances and our spiritual growth. When you look at the rest of the reading, especially with that element of air, we've done so much of the work, and with the element of spirit, we feel like we are going to be rewarded with what is coming to us, or I guess you could say what is owed to us, or what is in alignment with us, I guess would be the best way to say it. So it means that good times are ahead. We've done everything that we could possibly do as an individual. We're coming out of hermit mode, and now we have this world of options available to us through our drives, ambitions, and desires. And now we have, this either new career opportunity or relationship opportunity manifesting for us. So basically, we're on top of the world, and there is nothing which is going to stop us from having a better outlook on the future. That six of Swords in the upright position is about moving on to better times ahead. It is about being able to also just kind of let go of the past and just look forward. And again, very much about moving on. So wonderful, wonderful. Whatever happened in the past with our finances, with our spiritual beliefs, with maybe even let's say a bad breakup or something causes us to lose our faith or question our beliefs and whatnot. Whatever it is, that's all in the past. Again, there are brighter days ahead. It is time to move on. And yes, the universe and creation wants to have our backs for that. Okay, so let's see. What do the astrology die have to say to that? Wow, we have the sun in Sagittarius in the 11th house. Okay. Let's see. All right. So we got that middle decan of Sagittarius. Okay, let's line this up real quick. Okay, so that middle decan of Sagittarius is that Seven of Wands energy. Yeah, it's really about taking that rest, taking that you fought the good fight, you have been through so much, and you're pretty much a survivor at this point. You have you've been through the darkest of darks, and look at this, especially in the area of finance or perhaps spiritual development. So we've been through all this, and now there's greater days ahead. And yeah, it's not only in Aquarius. I'm sorry, it's not only in the 11th house, which is about expanding outward into the community, but we have the sun in Sagittarius. And so there's a lot of expansive energy because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And we have a lot of expansion happening on the solar level, on the level of our personality, or the outward personality that we allow others to see. The sun is also about health. The sun is about optimism. It's about stepping into the light. And there's just so much which is happening right here. So it's like, yeah, even though we've been through all of this, even though we've had to stand our ground and we've been attacked and, beaten down, and, we've questioned ourselves and questioned our worth and questioned, what life really is, all this stuff, we are still shining and we are still coming out on top. And we know that there are brighter days ahead, especially in the realms of our finance. And that's such a wonderful place to be, to know that you can make it through the darkest night, and to know that you can still move on and you can still come out on top. I thought last week's reading was a wonderful, beautiful, optimistic reading, and this one is blowing that one out of the water. We're really stepping into our own, and we have, that sun influencing the Pentacles energy there. We are really, just embracing also the ground we walk on. Very, very powerful. Okay, let's go to the last element. The element of water, which is represented by the cups. I don't know what I was thinking. It's like I wanted to see the bell or something. Anyways, but the element of water influences our emotions, influences our intuition. Yes, very, very introspective movement there. Okay, so what is influencing the element of water, love? Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles. Now, that Four of Pentacles energy is the Lord of earthly power, and it means that we have built up this reservoir of emotional resilience. We have honed our intuitive skills to be sharp as a tack. We have accrued so much interest in the wealth of our emotions. that now it's almost kind of, you know, it's like it's become this void, this sort of black hole, which just keeps on amassing more and more mass. If you notice the Lord of Earthly Power, you know, that they're kind of weighed down a little bit by their pentacles, and it means, you know, when we've achieved that success, but we're also kind of weighed down by it. Well, on an emotional level, that's kind of what we're feeling too. And again, with the pentacles being both material and spiritual, I would say that for most people listening to this, it would probably feel like this acquisition of spiritual knowledge and spiritual wealth, which has kind of been really gathering and coagulating and building in mass. But again, as we look to the element of air, which is about coming out of hermit mode, our emotional state also needs to sort of come out into hermit mode. You know, we've built up a wonderful reservoir of this security, of this emotional sensitivity, of this emotional power, that now it's time to spring into action. We don't want to become weighed down by it anymore. We want to take those lessons that we've learned to really embrace the moving on aspect here, and to really use the lessons of the past to go forward into the future. And so, now it's time to be a little bit more dynamic, and we will definitely experience that success because of the rest of the reading too. It's kind of making us be a little bit more dynamic. So let's see what the astrology die have to say to that. Let me also put these cards over here. All right. We have the sun again in Leo in the 10th house. Wow. Wow is all I can say. Okay. Let's re-roll for the decan. Oops. Sun in Leo. Where did you go, Leo? Okay, there you are. Sun in Leo, 10th house, and we are in... All right. So we're in that third decan of Leo. Okay. Here, let's line this up again. Okay. All right, so we're in that third decan of Leo. And yeah, that is the Lord of Valor. And so that particular one, it's very similar to that to the other energies here with the Sagittarius energy. We got the middle decan of Leo, or I'm sorry, we got the third decan of Leo combined with the middle decan of Sagittarius, and they're both very similar energies. All right, so we have that Lord of Valor, and again, just as with the decan of Sagittarius, it's really about sort of standing our ground. It's really about rushing off into doing what we need to do. And so not only, wow, and it's amazing that the sun is in both of those. So not only have we stood our ground, not only have we fought the good fight, but we have also come out ahead to position ourselves to a better strategic advantage with our emotions. So on the base level of both our earth and our water elements, we have a lot of resolution. And when we have a lot of resolution on those types of foundations to stand upon, we can do anything. We're at a very powerful manifestation period, and a lot of this has been coming up because we've also been getting a lot of Mars and Taurus within last week's reading. And, you know, in this week, we have two suns coming up in similar decans in Leo and Sagittarius. So we're very powerful right now. We're very powerful. We can do pretty much anything. And we have all these options available to us. We have the option of, you know, where to go with our drives and ambitions and desires. We have all the healing work that we've done in the element of air. We have better times ahead financially. We have reservoir of internal and of internal emotional and intuitive strength, and we also have that feeling of, we will be compensated for what we have endured as well in spirit. So yeah, this is definitely the time of manifestation. This is definitely the time of having learned the lessons and being able to really pursue our hopes and dreams, and to actually see them manifest with greater accuracy and with greater alignment, and also with greater ease. Now's the time to be our highest and best. Now is the time to really embrace those energies which are making themselves known to us. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at the aspects. It looks like everything is probably just right out of range. Let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so that's almost a conjunction, but not quite. That's almost a conjunction, but not quite. Let's see. 30, 60. Okay, so we have a sextile formed here. Yeah, so we have the sextile formed between fire and water. Okay, so that would suggest that with that emotional reservoir that we have, again, depending on how we view that element of fire, we have the ability to do anything. These options are available to us. All these options, whether they are love interests or whether they are career interests, job opportunities, it's available to us because we are standing on that emotional solid ground. We are centered and we are powerful. And the fact that we can do that means that we can attract the people and the places and ideas and things into our life that we need to, because of that huge reservoir of emotional awareness, as well as all these options available to us. All right, let's see, what else do we have? Let's see. 30. Yeah, that's about it so far. So just that sextile form between those, but I mean, with the rest of the reading, like, do we really even need aspects to really enhance it? I mean, each of the elements on their own seem to be rather powerful, and the fact that, we even have that form there is really beneficial too. All right, so I think I'm going to take this over to the extended reading. I'll be using a couple of oracle decks to kind of get some further clarification and be a little bit more specific about what these energies might be suggesting. If you're interested in that, then head on over to the Discord, and yeah, I'll assign you a role to be able to view that bonus content. Okay, so thanks again for joining, and yeah, if you've resonated with today's message, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, or comment. It's always wonderful hearing from all of you, and may Hecate illuminate your path and guide you at the crossroads.